salaries to striking Luansha Council workers. And in foreign news, British Health Minister becomes the latest coronavirus victim. Join us in a bit after this. To present the news in detail, my name is Wabwila Musongole. The United Party for National Development says it will hold its long-awaited elective General Assembly in June this year, with a call to eligible members of the public to vie for any position. UPND Secretary General Stephen Katuka told journalists at the party secretariat that the intra-party elections were being held in pursuit of Article 60 of the Republican Constitution.
My own women from the UPND and the other women from other political parties and the general walk of life. To say thank you for that good turnout. It's a good sign that all is well in the country in terms of women participation. We wish to announce to the nation that the UPND has now finally concluded the timetable of the convention, which is called a convention, but in the UPND we don't call it a convention, it's a General Assembly. So the UPND is set to go to the General Assembly in the month of June. But before going to General Assembly, there are other procedures that we need to follow. That is the timetable of the lower organ elections. So I wish to take this opportunity to announce that we have reserved this month of March to conduct the lower organ elections, starting with the branch, and then next month, June, we will move to deal with the district and constituencies. In the month of May, we'll be dealing with provincial assemblies. So we'll be conducting provincial assemblies in all the 10 provinces. That is electing the committees of the provinces, and that will convert into the General Assembly in the month of June. In June, we are going to the General Assembly, beginning with the lower organ elections, which are starting this month, and will go on up to June when we go to the General Assembly. I want to say that UPND is a party of choice.
Mielie meal prices across the country have continued to increase. A 25-kilogram bag of breakfast is now selling at between 220 kwacha and 250 kwacha in some parts of the country. The marginal increase in the price of the staple commodity has triggered a lot of questions from consumers. Many are wondering why government has been conspicuously quiet over the soaring mielie meal prices. Diana Kafwala took to the streets of Kitwe and brought back this report.
Mielie meal prices across the country have continued to skyrocket, and this has caused public outcry. Most Zambians are failing to understand why mielie meal prices are unstable, particularly that the country produces a lot of maize. Experts, on the other hand, argue that the high electricity tariffs and unreasonable fuel costs have contributed to the high cost of mielie meal. A 25-kilogram bag of breakfast mielie meal in some parts of the country is now fetching between 175 and 220 kwacha. Copperbelt residents Kopala TV has spoken to are wondering why the government is failing to bring down the mielie meal prices.
I'm working with Hidden Director, which soon will run that driving machine. And there's an question, soon Navakashi. The Robert Dandashvena, Davade Issa, Ukumpera Kunokunga, Fuaku, Fiakushta Munga, Gabunga, Fiance, one day, Shubunga would do a sana. Ala, Nadia Shamari was a good diffusion, if you were in Toreka, Manasanga Zero, Rumbo, and Ishwara very fee. We would take it to Alida and Mue, who never to Galida Mofu. Would I mue? Apologo to Ingaya.
I would take to a shank of Bunga, and then if you have for a Wushenko.
And that Bunga, now would do La San. Now we are sana, for the Bombela Street. Olo Bunga, Treflo Quanisha, Bunga would muri 180, 170. So trade Shania could take over PF, but PF to Ariba voted, to Arguata marriage in Ama voters cut. So for trade Shania Pamtengo Abunga.
Copperbelt residents are pleading with government to consider reducing the commodity to 80 kwacha. They feel the commodity has just become too expensive for the ordinary poor person on the street.
Mwe igo nomba nje kwanisho kuomba ukushita unga wanoite so palichi tibakwata vyokumona mwave nokuti awe bakwata ukuranda po bwino pakuti tikakwata kokushita kobungana ngweite kwacha nangu feze bakwata kokubwesha kweite kwacha bantu mwaturanguluka kofwe bali mukati aka street vendors kwema street vendors tatwakwatenda lamesha kwa twingala shita 180 170 so turefiro kutamane jukushito bunga 180 kurafa kwa ati muri 1 month ukwata mu 200 kuma piece we number 200 yoshite mu bunga 1 shani leo msonkere monenga ndamba mata shani manage at least babosha ko bunga nangwa ati pari 70 kwa at least ukashita manage shira pari 180 turefiro kumani show bunga.
In January this year, government spokesperson Honorable Doris Leah said that the prices of mealie meal should not go beyond 136 kwacha. This was after the government entered into a tripartite agreement with the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, the Mirrors Association of Zambia, and the Grain Traders Association of Zambia to ensure that the prices of mealie meal remained affordable for citizens. Stakeholders, on the other hand, want government to introduce subsidies so that the mealie meal prices are reduced. Diana Kafwala, Kopala TV News, Kitwe.
Still on the price of mealie meal, the opposition National Democratic Congress NDC has urged government to immediately address the high mealie meal prices. NDC spokesperson Saboye Mboila says people will die of hunger if the high mealie meal prices are not revised downwards. The youth in Kitwe are appealing to government to look into their plight and welfare ahead of the Youth Day celebrations to be held tomorrow. Monica Baidu has the rest of the details in the following report.
A youth is classified as any person between the ages of 15 to 35 years. The United Nations International Youth Day is held on the 12th of August each year, but in Zambia, the day is commemorated on the 12th of March. March 12 has been set aside as Youth Day for a very special reason. The holiday highlights the importance of the youth to the country on the anniversary of disturbances in 1962 that resulted in the deaths of young Zambians during the nation's turbulent journey to independence. A statue known as Chimoposa Mawe, Stone Thrower, stands in the middle of the city of Kitwe to commemorate the day when the youths of Zambia fought with nothing but stones against gun bullets. Every year, a theme is set for the day, and this year's theme is Channelizing Youth Power for National Building. Zambia has a very large youth population, and many of them live in dire poverty due to social and economic hardships. Youths in Kitwe that Kopala TV News had spoken to cited some of the challenges they are facing. The young persons have an appeal to government.
I think the president should look on our life because what is happening in Ndenda nama papers so in nama papers session in a voters card. Nombe discover president abaretoreke because ni kusha 2 years ndeze zerabe mtaoni but ingana mfwa enchito ya government banje bati ama papers okay the next time so in ndeko wana ngwa president batoreke shapo balanda ko something yako bati my own about day wachitako very important.
Youth Day is commemorated every year to bring youth issues to the attention of the international community and to celebrate the potential of youths as partners in today's global society. Monica Baidu, Kopala TV News, Kitwe.
The Young Women's Christian Association, YWCA, is concerned that no nation worldwide has achieved gender equality due to the unchanging law and culture. YWCA Copperbelt Region Coordinator Sharon Chisanga says real change has been slow to improve gender equality for the majority of women and girls. Victoria Mukupo has more in the following report.
The United Nations has indicated 2020 as the year to advance gender equality worldwide. This is why on the local front, the Young Women's Christian Association YWCA has put into place an ambitious program advocating for gender equality across the country. The YWCA is concerned that no nation worldwide can claim to have achieved gender equality in totality. This is because of many unchanging laws and cultural norms that discriminate against women. This state of affairs has made women experience multiple forms of violence, among other injustices.
The consensus is that despite some progress made, real change has been agonizingly slow for the majority of women and girls in Zambia and the world at large. Not a single country guest of honor can claim to have achieved gender equality because of multiple obstacles remain unchanged in law and culture as follows. Women and girls continue to be undervalued.
The people who spearhead the productivity of this country.
We are striving to get the equality that we desire. This date, right now we are celebrating 25 years from the Beijing platform. The 25 years of which women have been advocating for equality. Yet we have not yet achieved what we have been striving for.
YWCA has an appeal to government.
We appeal to government to facilitate a mechanism that will enhance women participation in politics ahead of 2021.
Next of what your business offers, indicating the name, location and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back. The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAQEZ, is disappointed that the Ministry of General Education has abandoned more than 2,000 teachers it promised to sponsor for training at St. Eugene University. NAQEZ Executive Director Aaron Chansa has disclosed that in 2014, government signed a Memorandum of Understanding with St. Eugene University for teacher training. According to Mr. Chansa, the understanding was to the effect that the university was to train more than 2,000 government teachers in mathematics and sciences. The training was to be fast-tracked in order for the government to mitigate the acute shortages of maths and science teachers in the country. The degree program was to take 3 years and all fees were to be settled by the ministry itself. However, Mr. Chansa is shocked that the Ministry of General Education stopped paying fees on behalf of the teachers just after the second semester. However, St. Eugene University continued to provide the service until the teachers completed the scheduled training in 2017. NAQEZ has regretted that no one from the 2,000 educators has graduated, as the university has withheld their certificates. Mr. Chansa is urging the Minister of General Education, David Mabumba, to urgently resolve the matter as the affected teachers have run out of patience. Opposition NDC Copperbelt chairperson Chipoka Mulenga has urged government to immediately pay the 3-month salary arrears owed to striking Luansha Municipal Council workers. Mr. Mulenga says the workers are passing through untold misery. Mr. Mulenga wonders why the government has failed to release the monthly equalization fund to the Luansha Council. On Tuesday, unions representing council workers announced an indefinite work stoppage for all unionized council workers. Council workers in some parts of the country have gone for 7 months without pay.
We pray that this situation or predicament that the council workers in Luansha are going through will be addressed amicably and within time, and so that we avoid a strike that may trickle into other districts taking a leave. Already we've had as a country many challenging situations which I know can be kept and stopped just right now. We don't even want to see any council worker suspended from work, like we have seen in other districts where council workers have been suspended and not been returned from work to work. We saw in Kabwe, council workers being harassed by PF cadres. We saw in Chingola, where other councils have been suspended. The unions can't even stand for them. Therefore, as NDC on the Copper Belt, we demand to say, pay the council employees in Luanshya immediately.
The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAQEZ, is disappointed that the Ministry of General Education has abandoned more than 2,000 teachers it promised to sponsor for training at St. Eugene University. NAQEZ Executive Director Aaron Chansa has disclosed that in 2014, government signed a Memorandum of Understanding with St. Eugene University for teacher training. According to Mr. Chansa, the understanding was to the effect that the university was to train more than 2,000 government teachers in mathematics and sciences. The training was to be fast-tracked in order for the government to mitigate the acute shortages of maths and science teachers in the country. The degree program was to take 3 years and all fees were to be settled by the ministry itself. However, Mr. Chansa is shocked that the Ministry of General Education stopped paying fees on behalf of the teachers just after the second semester. However, St. Eugene University continued to provide the service until the teachers completed the scheduled training in 2017. NAQEZ has regretted that no one from the 2,000 educators has graduated, as the university has withheld their certificates. Mr. Chansa is urging the Minister of General Education, David Mabumba, to urgently resolve the matter as the affected teachers have run out of patience. In case you have just tuned in, you are watching the Coppola TV main news. Join us in a bit after the break.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Coppola TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Coppola TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back, and now to foreign news. The Democratic Republic of Congo has reported its first coronavirus case, making them the 11th African country to report a case. According to reports, the patient is a Belgian national and has been quarantined. We join African News for this report.
Authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo on Tuesday confirmed the first case of coronavirus in the country. According to the Ministry of Health, the patient, a Belgian national, has been quarantined in the capital Kinshasa. DRC thus becomes the 11th African country to confirm the presence of the viral disease. The country last weekend started implementing a compulsory quarantine for nationals from virus-infected countries. These are France, Italy, Germany, and China. Health Ministry officials wrote to the embassy stressing that persons with symptoms were to be quarantined at a state-run facility, whereas those with no symptoms will be requested to undergo mandatory self-quarantine of 14 days. The DRC is currently undertaking a measles vaccination program to address the outbreak of the highly contagious disease, which has claimed more than 6,000 lives since 2019. The country has also begun the 42-day mandatory countdown to declare the end of the Ebola epidemic, which has killed more than 2,000 people.
And finally, in foreign news, Britain's Health Minister Nadine Dorries has also tested positive for the coronavirus, amidst putting measures in place to control the outbreak in that country. Ms. Dorries has been in self-isolation at her home since last Friday. Sky News Australia has the rest of this report.
Britain's health minister has been diagnosed with COVID-19 after working on measures to control the outbreak. Nadine Dorries has confirmed she's in self-isolation as authorities attempt to figure out how she became ill.
The first MP to be diagnosed and a health minister too, involved, perhaps ironically to point out, in the effort to combat coronavirus. We understand that Nadine Dorries fell ill last Friday. Her diagnosis was confirmed tonight, and in the past few days she has held a constituency surgery of around 50 people, as well as attended Parliament, attended the Department for Health, where of course she works as a minister, and attended Downing Street too. She was at Boris Johnson's International Women's Day event there last Friday. Now, the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, has released a statement tonight saying he's really sorry to hear Nadine has tested positive for coronavirus. She has done the right thing by self-isolating at home, and both NHS and Public Health England staff have been brilliant. We wish her all well as she recovers. He also says, I understand why people are worried about this disease. We will do all we can to keep people safe based on the best possible science. I think the key point in this story so far is we do not know who infected Nadine Dorries, and the concern, of course, could be that she may have affected others in Parliament, in the Department for Health, or indeed in her constituency. Questions now are likely to be asked about Parliament possibly being suspended. Is it safe for 650 parliamentarians, who some call super spreaders, to still be working so closely together? And tomorrow, of course, sitting all very close together in the budget.
That ends the Coppola TV main news, but before we go, we take a look at our headlines once again. Copperbelt residents urge government to address soaring mealie meal prices. Kitwe youths cry for jobs. Government urged to pay outstanding salaries to striking Luanshya Council workers. And in foreign news, British Health Minister becomes latest coronavirus victim. Thank you for watching the Coppola TV main news. My name is Wabula Musongole, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.